Anyway, we need to go over a few rules. We sent out a guidelines last in our last meeting, and it was item number 14. Anyway, it talks about how we are required to do Zoom along with the in-person meeting, and effective the first of the year, if we had a website, we were required to offer Zoom to the public. So, and with that said, when you get ready to speak, you need to make sure you got your video on. And it's probably I don't know how many. If it's of us, we may have to mute until you speak. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll start. So at that time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. And if we will, say the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. This afternoon, our Heavenly Father, we just like to just thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for giving us the ability to come to this meeting, attend this meeting. We ask you to give us the strength, the knowledge, and the ability to get through this pandemic that we're going through right now. I ask you to just bless the citizens of Seagraves and all in our community. We ask you to just give us directions and pray for us that we get through these projects that we got going on along with this pandemic. And be mindful of us and have mercy on as we try to struggle to get through this. We pray for our leaders of our country to make their best decision, that it will be hopefully the right one. We ask you these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Next is the roll call. Please respond with Ruben Weiss.
Here.
Shannon Wadzik.
Here.
Deborah Middleton.
I'm here.
Kendra Sellers.
Here.
And Cindy Durham.
Here.
Thank you. Let it be documented, please, that all members are present. And next on the agenda is we're going to canvass the election. And we have two candidates on there, and we'll start with Shannon Wadzik first. And actually, I'm going to give you a summary of the precincts return. And this is I, the undersigned, the presiding officer of the canvassing authority for the city of Seagraves, election held on the third day of November 2020, Gaines County, Texas. Do hereby certify that the following is the total of the votes received by each candidate and votes received for against. Each measure is shown by the precinct returns. I further certify that the following votes totals include early voting by precincts received under section 87.1231 of the Texas Election Code. The name of the office of the proposition, Alderman of the District 1, Shannon Wadzik, 68 votes. Alderman District 1, Jefferson Cadwell, 32 votes. Alderman in District 2, Deborah Middleton, which didn't have no candidate, but she would be sworn in following Shannon. Next, Shannon, do you have a copy of that? If you don't, you can repeat after me. Are you ready?
Yes.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
This to certify that a general election held on November 3rd, 2020. This
In a general election held November 3rd, 2020,
Shannon Wadzik was duly elected alderman of District 1, City of Seagraves.
Shannon Wadzik was duly elected District 1, City of Seagraves.
In the testimony whereof I have hereto signed my name and caused the seal of, can you read that?
That's not the paper that I have. Just
Oh, this is a certification. That other one is the, is a statement. You don't
okay,
have
we
the-
don't have that.
Okay, well, I go slow. In testimony whereof
In testimony whereof,
I have hereunto
I have hereunto
signed my name and caused
signed my name and cause
the seal of, state your
the
name,
seal of Shannon Wadzik
to be fixed at the City of Seagraves
to be fixed at the City of Seagraves
this 16th day of November 2020.
the 16th day of November 2020.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna go to the statement, which is basically just, talks about fraud but anyway, I have to do that. This is a statement of the office. I, Shannon Wadzik,
I, Shannon Wadzik,
do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly paid
that I have not directly or indirectly paid,
offered, promised to pay,
offered to promise to pay,
contribute, or promise to contribute
contribute, or promise to contribute
any money or things of value,
any money or things of value,
or promise any public office
or promise any public office
or employment
or employment
for the givings or withholding
for the units of withholding
of a vote at the election
at the election
at which I have elected or reward
at which I have elected or
to secure my appointment or confirmation,
to secure my appointment or confirmation,
whichever the case may be.
whichever the case may be.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, I just have some papers at the office that you need to go by and sign whenever you get a chance. We just had to do this tonight.
Okay.
Next, Deborah Milton, do you have any of those documents?
I have my statement of officer already signed, and I showed it to Judge Selden.
I'm sorry. Do you have the certification document or the statement?
Here. I have a statement of officer.
Oh, you have both of them?
2201.
Yeah, both of them. Then I'll just let you read them off. Maybe speed it up. Do you have both of them?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, would you read it first? The certification.
I have the statement of officer. I do not have a certification.
Okay, all right. Let me read it to you. I go slow. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name of the authority of the state of Texas.
this is to certify that a general election held on November 3rd, 2020.
This is to certify the general election was held on November the 3rd, 2020.
Deborah Middleton was duly elected.
Deborah Middleton was duly elected.
Alderman District 2 of the city of Seagraves.
Alderman 2 of the District 2 of the city of Seagraves.
In the testimony whereof,
In the testimony whereof,
I have hereunto signed
I have hereunto signed
my name and caused the seal of
my name and the cause of seal of
Deborah Middleton
Deborah Middleton
to be affixed at the city of Seagraves
to the affix of the city of Seagraves,
this the 16th day of November 2020.
this the 16th day of November 2020.
Okay, now next, if you would read the audited statement of the officer, you do have that.
I, Deborah Middleton, do solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment for the giving or withholding of a election which I will compete or as a reward to secure my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be, so help me God.
Thank
This is
you.
a map.
Huh? Congratulations. If you guys have come by, attached behind each one of those statements and the certification is general information that tell you how we're required to do that if we can't meet in an in-person meeting. This is the rules we're going by. I'm sorry. But anyway, if you both of y'all will go down to the city hall whenever you get a chance and sign those documents, then we would be completed. Next on the agenda is the public comments. We have moved them up early to try to accommodate everyone who's here attending today. And you are welcome to stay after the comment section is over. Do we have any comments? Anybody? Dan, you know of?
I have no one that is requested to make a comment.
If there are no comments, we'll move on to the next agenda item. If anybody have any other comments that's not on the agenda, you can, including the council members, you can speak now, but there won't be any action take place, but you can really talk to us about what's on your mind if you have anything. So there's no comments. We'll move on to the next item. Is approve the minutes of the previous meetings. I think we had 2 minutes.
Okay, I make a motion. This is Cindy Durham. I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the regular city council meeting on October 13th, 2020, as written.
Motion have been made to accept the minutes from October 13th. All in favor? I need a second.
Oh,
Deborah Middleton, seconds.
Motion been made and second. All in favor? Ruben Weiss.
Aye.
Shannon Watzik. Deborah Middleton. Kendra Sellers.
Aye.
Sandra Durham.
aye.
Motion had been passed. I thought we had 2 minutes. Maybe not. Next is past the text TX 201-A, apply for a loan and grant. There should be in your package it's an application filing for, it's a resolution filing for a grant or loan, and I'll just read it off. It's a resolution by the City Council of the City of Seagraves requesting financial assistance from the Texas Water Development Board, authorizing the filing of an application for assistance and making certain finding in connection therewith. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Seagraves in Section 1 that a application is hereby approved and authorized to be filed with the Texas Water Development Board seeking financial assistance in the amount not to exceed $6,084,000 to provide for the cost of water system improvement that will address arsenic levels. Section 2, that Dan Greif, City Secretary, be and is hereby designated the authorized representative of the City of Seagraves for the purpose of furnishing such information and executing such documents as may be required in connection with the preparation and filing of such application and financial assistance and the rules of the Texas Water Development Board. Section 3, that the following firms and individuals are hereby authorized and directed to aid and assist in the preparation and submission of such application and appear on behalf of and represents the City of Seagraves. Before any hearing held by the Texas Water Development Board on such application to witness. Financial advisors Erica Macha with Hilltop Securities Incorporation. The engineers Chad Thompson with West Texas Consultant, and the board bond counsel is David Mendez, Booker Tariff, Heath Delgado, and the Acosta LLC. Passed and approved this date, 16th day of November 2020. So any question on it? We're talking about the water tower and any improvement that needs to be done to our water system. I guess we notice Chad is here. Chad, you have anything you want to explain to us?
Yes, sir. It's the items that we have just generally on the project, the water tower, ground storage tanks, and there would be a little bit of additional ground storage put in as we replace a couple tanks and make them a little bigger, and also make it a little more flexible where you can have one out of service while you repair the other one without causing any disruption in service. There's some replacement of non-standard water lines, as well as some older lines that are problematic. And there's some additional work on making the water treatment plant a little more operationally friendly and automated for the long term. And there's some other miscellaneous items in there, but that's the main items.
Any more questions? You guys want to approve that, or? Do you understand what we're talking about? Are there any more questions? I mean, you know, we're gonna eventually have to replace the water tower. I know we just done some work on it here this year to, I guess, patch it or repair it, but eventually we're gonna have to do that.
Is this something that needs a motion?
Do we need to vote on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to discuss to make sure you understand what's going on, because I mean, this is going to be a, I mean, we don't know how much of that's going to be a grant and how much is going to be a loan. So we need to really get a really good understanding of what we're doing.
Charles, this is Alderman Deborah Middleton.
Uh-huh.
Is this I mean, you're saying, the water tower, and this is through the Texas Water Development Board. And what did you say the amount of the grant was?
$6,084,000.
It doesn't? It has to.
Now what we're doing today is just filling out. What we're doing today is we're only filling out an application. We're filing to get it authorized to do this. That's what we're doing today. We're not doing, we're not finalizing. We're just making filling out approving the application by the council. I mean, so nothing really else is taking place today.
I just wanted to make sure we have we're talking about the correct grant. We've already got one for $6,085,000. It's the sewer plant restoration and all that. $4 million.
Mayor,
Right, that's
Yes.
what I was thinking. And this $6
Yes.
million,
if I could explain,
it includes the water tower. It includes some of the infrastructure on the highways. And then correcting anything at our fresh water that we need to do. Because you and I talked, I wanted to make sure that we have and you're okay with this. The only thing is we don't know how much of the $6 million is going to be a loan
That's
or a
right.
grant, correct?
3.something million is the loan, 2.7 million is the grant.
could I address the council, please?
She's trying to talk now. Renee, can you hear me? I think we can't hear her.
No. I'm afraid to turn it on because it's.
It shows you're not muted.
Can you hear me, Charlie?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
This is a mess, Bob. Thank you.
I have those numbers for you, council, if you'd like me to
Yeah.
tell you.
Yes.
Yes, just
The wastewater project is a different project. That's USDA. So this project is through Water Development Board with an EPA grant attachment. So the full project amount is what the mayor said, $6,084,000. The EPA grant portion is $3,346,000. So through this project, the city is going to be given $3.346 million. And then there will be a loan portion of $2.7 million, which I think is potentially maybe partially forgivable, but I'm not sure of that. I do know that it's a defund and that the rates are pretty low. But that's for the water project, it's $6,084,000 with a $3.346 million grant.
You know, like I said earlier, we're just approving the application and filing for the authorized representatives for this resolution. That's all we're doing today.
Does this require a motion and a second?
Yes, it does.
Yes, I would think so.
This is Alderman Sellers, and I'm making a motion that we proceed with the application process.
Motion has been made by Alderman Kendra Sellers.
Alderman Middleton, second.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor, Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Wadzik, Alderman Deborah Middleton,
Aye.
and Alderman Kendra Sellers,
Aye.
and Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
Okay, so just, I don't know if we're gonna get back on that. I guess all this has to be taken in consideration and approved. If this, I don't know what our next action is, but we'll find out soon, I guess. Okay. Number 9 is issue and resolve the qualified option and the audit and position mean to become compliant with GSB 34. I assume that's got a lot to do with the item number 11. And 12. No, number 11. Anyway, what they were talking about there, I mean, for years they've been, our auditors have recommended that we do a inventory of all of our assets, but he was telling us all of it. And we understand this is, there's a attachment in your package. It talks about, I think the only thing that they're gonna inventory is assets $5,000 and over and up. Initially we were talking about inventory all the streets, sidewalks and everything, but that's not the case now. But that's just kind of much as I know about it. But there's a company in the item number, which one is that they recommend to do is that kind of work. Dan, can you enlighten us a little bit more on that project?
Yeah, I'll be happy to. Every year, the audit gives us a qualified opinion. I know you all recall Derek speaking about this every year, that they can't give us a complete audit because we've never made a value for the city itself. He'll say things like, we don't know what the sidewalks are worth. We don't know what the street signs are worth. We don't know what all of the infrastructure is worth. And it hadn't been done because they always thought that it was going to be cost prohibitive to go back and look up all of those, go back to the beginning when those things were first put into the ground, put onto the sidewalks, made real, and then to begin to depreciate them over time. By doing that, though, we would get a complete financial statement, which we've never had. During this application process with Texas Water Development, we had a meeting where they found that they had compliance issues with the city that needed to be resolved before they could elevate our application for the defund portion of this project. One of those things was that they found that according, because they were looking at the audit of 2018, which was the 2017-2018 calendar year, and the opinion, the management letter that Derek had written specifically said that the sinking fund had been being mismanaged. Transfers were not being made into that fund the way they're supposed to. And it appeared that we weren't going to be able to make our bond obligations. Now, I know you all remember the state of the city at that time, but I took steps to rectify that and began making that 30% of the water revenue transfer every month into the sinking fund. And we've made our bond obligations, and we've made our interest obligations on time. And this has satisfied the Texas Water Development Board on that issue. I sent them documentation that showed that the transfers were being made in a timely manner and that there was plenty of money in that account and that we were making our bond obligation payments on time. We've got a good rating there. So that one was cleared up. The other one, though, that we have to address is this one of GASB 34. GASB 34 is a government accounting regulation that our auditors have to account for every year. And GASB 34 is basically saying we have to have a complete financial statement, which means we do have to figure out what the city is worth, how much the sidewalks are worth, how much the streets are worth, how much the pipes are worth, how much everything, the whole city, everything that the city owns, we have to put a value on it. So I send out feelers to all the city managers in this area and ask them for advice, if they could recommend a firm that could help us with this, if they've been through this before. I got a lot of response back. And as a result of that, I've been in contact with Asset Works, which is a nationwide company that does this sort of thing, places valuations on our property, and can also set up a bunch of bookkeeping for us once they find the value so that we can begin to amortize it. Now, I also found out that because of the type of city that we are, with revenues of less than $10 million a year, we don't have to go back to the beginning of time and establish what that sidewalk cost in 1928 and how it's depreciated till now. We're only required to go to 1980 and only then place a value on anything that was either substantially upgraded in 1980 or since then, over $5,000 worth of upgrade. And that makes it all affordable. So Asset Works has made a bid to bring us into compliance here, basically, and the cost would be $28,000. Now, Derek had always told us before that it may be cost prohibitive to get that accounting done, and a lot of cities couldn't afford to do it. But evidently, so many of them have done it that now these firms that were established that were charging a lot of money to do that for all the cities are looking for work, so the prices come down. So it's a good time for us. So that's basically where we are. That's where we need to get done. We need to get a valuation on everything that the city owns. And then we need to establish an amortization rate so that we can account for its depreciation year after year. That's the issue in a nutshell. And to that end, I had our attorney help draft an ordinance, which is the asset capitalization policy, which outlines what we're going to be doing, anything over $5,000, all of those things are just in the ordinance there, and you've got a copy of it. And once we enact that ordinance, and I can send a copy of that to the Texas Water Development Board, they're going to be satisfied that we're working on that project. They have accepted my letter that I sent to them, a plan, an action plan to address the issues that they had. And so far they've accepted that. So once we get this done, and then if we decide to engage Asset Works, they can get a team on the ground here to begin the process of doing an actual physical audit of everything that the city owns, city parks, city water systems, whatever we've got. We're in good shape because we're going to be replacing our city water system. We're going to be replacing our wastewater system. We're going to probably build a new city hall. So we won't be dealing with the stuff that, it's all going to be kind of new, and we'll begin to amortize that at a new rate within the next couple of years. So that, I think, is the best way I can explain all of this to you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Did Asset Works give us an estimate of the cost?
Yes, sir, they did. It's in their proposal. A copy of that was included in your package. They talk about the scope of the work, what all they're going to do, and their estimate is $28,000. The next closest estimate I got was from an engineering company out of Houston, and they were talking more in the neighborhood of $75,000 for the same thing.
I know as long as I've been on the council and been involved with the government, every year that's what Derek Ray, our auditor, is recommending that we do. But like Dan said, we refused to do it because we know the cost was going to be, way out of line for us, because we thought like we was going to have to do everything other than anything less than $5,000. So, but y'all think about it a minute and kind of, if you want to discuss or have more questions.
This is Alderman Sellers. The only question I have is, Dan, directed to Dan, have you talked to Derek Ray
Yes.
to see, is this a company that he's familiar with?
Derek Ray is familiar with the process. The companies that he was aware of, he didn't give me any of them, but I did share with him the ordinance that you've got and the proposal from Asset Works. He is aware of Asset Works. They're known, that's their industry. This is what they do. And Derek Ray is very happy that we're going to be doing this. And the only issue that he had was he knew that he couldn't certify a complete audit this year because he's going to be coming actually tomorrow to begin our audit, and that this would not be in place in time for his audit this year. But the audit next year should be a 100% clear, clean audit with all of these things resolved. And that's what he is looking forward to. And that's what I'm hoping to be able to report to Texas Water Development. And this project that we're talking about with the $3 million grant and all, that's going to begin very soon. They're going to be breaking ground on this even before we get this done, but we just need to demonstrate to them that we're taking steps to rectify this problem and that it will be rectified going forward. This is also going to improve the city's financial position, our DUNS rating, our bond rating, all of that is going to go up. A qualified opinion on our audit has been holding us back. Once we get that cleared up, the city is going to be fiscally a lot healthier as far as doing business in the world than we are right now. But yes, yes, ma'am, Ms. Sellers, the auditor is aware and does approve of it.
I am. This is Alderman Sellers, and is this when do we need to entertain a motion to accept and proceed on with Asset Works?
Yes, one motion, ma'am, would be to adopt the ordinance, to enact the ordinance for asset capitalization. And then the next one would be on agenda item 11, a motion to engage the services of Asset Works to accomplish this GASB 34 resolution.
Okay, this is Kendra, Alderman Sellers, and I make a motion to pass the ordinance 20-11-09 asset capitalization policy.
And Alderman Middleton seconded, I second it.
Motion has been made and second to pass ordinance 20-11-09, that's the asset capitalization policy. And second, all in favor, Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Shannon Wadzik, Alderman Deborah Middleton, and Alderman Kendra Sellers,
Aye.
and Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
I guess we need to do the same thing for item 11. Is that right, Dan, or do we need to, would that include?
Just a motion.
Yeah,
If someone would make a motion to engage the services of Asset Works and get a second and then a vote, yes.
okay.
Okay, I'm Alderman Cindy Durham. I make a motion that we engage with Asset Works to get our asset, whatever.
Okay, motion has been made.
Alderman Sellers, a second.
Motion been made and second to the possible action to engage in asset work for capitalist asset valuation service and GASB 34 compliance. Motion been made and second. All in favor, Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Wadzik, Alderman Deborah Middleton, Alderman Kendra Sellers,
Aye.
Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
Okay. Next on the agenda is item number 12, to pass the ordinance 20-11-09B, setting the rates for water, wastewater, and sanitation. This ordinance is in your package. I think we've had already approved this thing at once, but we have edited and talked to our lawyer about it, and pretty much we were doing special favors for the two little motels here, and I think it's not a problem anymore. Renee, you wanna talk about this? She's still there.
Yes, I'm here. The only change that was actually made was to the wastewater rate. It went from $13.50 as the base rate to $26.22. It was that you could use 35,000 gallons before you were charged a percentage. And then now it's, you use 10,000 gallons for free, and then the next 10,000 is 60 cents a thousand. And everything after 40,000 is $1.60 a thousand. Did you hear me, Mayor?
I heard you that time, but didn't. Yeah, I could hear you then. Does anyone else hear Renee?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I mean, you may talk about the, what's the plans are as far as the two motels here, as far as what we talked about, what you said the problem is solved.
Well, we only have one motel. And I think that instead of charging the motel for each and every room, which they have 7 rooms in an apartment, I think that it should be one base rate for them. And we just kind of need to get together, Dan and I, and figure out what that base rate should be. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty much taken care of, is good to go.
So the little apartments with Joanne, I guess that's been resolved. Is that correct?
Yes, it's being resolved. Yes. She has separated some of her apartments and are getting separate water taps for them so that each and every apartment will pay their own bills, and making the bigger ones into smaller units. So it'll be a lot easier to get a hold of, easier to pay, less costly.
I think with that said, we've already had quite a bit of discussion around it, and actually we really don't have no choice. I mean, those are the rates that are recommended by, I don't know what group it was, but anyway, I guess we need a motion and a second to approve this ordinance 20-11-09.
Alderman Sellers, and I make a motion that we pass ordinance 20-11-09B, setting the rates for water, wastewater, and sanitation.
Alderman Cindy Durham, second.
Motion has been made and second. All in favor, Alderman Ruben Weiss.
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Wadzik. Alderman Deborah Middleton. Alderman Kendra Sellers.
Aye.
And Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
Please let it be documented that all was in favor. Next on the agenda is discussion regarding amendment to the Animal Control Ordinance 9-2 adopted 050905 to provide for the adoption of animals in the custody of the animal control officer. I guess, Rick, it's your call.
Does anybody have any questions?
We didn't get that. I didn't get it. Did you get it?
It's on the agenda.
Oh,
Okay, so the amendment is something that Ian, Ladora, and Vivian worked on, and it's covering the animals that we do have in our possession in the kennel that we're able to, by ordinance, let the animals be adopted. We went through the ordinances of Lubbock and Brownfield and the other, and we pulled their adoption and we tailor cut it for us so we can do it here. So, I mean, the cost for the animals being adopted is $30 for the animal, but they also within 30 days have to have the animal neutered and all the stuff, you know, it has to be approved through a vet. I think that's the one thing that was a big issue that all of them seem to want to do. Like an old dog or a very old dog or a sick dog or a very hurt dog is not something that could make it through the surgery, so that animal cannot be adopted. So then that's clarified in there as well. It's pretty straightforward. We simplified it. There was stuff about chipping the animals. There was stuff, we took that out. There were some other things about animals that we took out. They had cats in there. We removed the cats because we don't really keep cats in the kennel. So people have approached Ladora in the past, and that's why we're doing this, to adopt the animals and have expressed concern of that. And Ladora's been having to go through Amber to get the animals adopted and stuff. And this would allow us to go ahead and take care of that and open a space in the kennels. We've been filling them up every month, at least 3 or 4 dogs. Sometimes, you know, a couple of dogs every month that we're putting in there and trying to get a new home. And Amber's been like really super helpful and has not allowed us to put down dogs, which is great. She's doing a good job. Ladora is trying to put her, her efforts also to do the same thing by passing this ordinance. I agree with her, and plus I was kind of saying, let's do this and let's see if the city council will approve it. So she can help Amber as well. If anybody comes, sure, no problem. It's going to cost $30. Not a whole lot of money for the city to collect, but they also have to pay for the surgery for the animal to be spaded or neutered. And of course, if it's a healthy animal, to do so. Otherwise, we'll have to put down the dog. So that's all in there pretty much. It's just a few pages. And like I said, we tailor cut it for the best serving purpose for the city.
When do you want to make this effective? Immediately, or you want to
We can.
wait until the animal control building is completed? I mean, that was my concern.
What did you say, Tom?
Do you want to put it in effective right immediately, or do you want to wait until the animal control building is built?
Why would we wait?
That's what I'm asking him. If he want to do it immediately, is that going to be when you adopt that policy? Are you going to be able to store everything? That was just a question. I'm not recommending it. I'm just asking. If he's ready to do it now,
This is Alderman Middleton, and I make a motion that we accept the amendment to the animal control ordinance 9.2.
And this is Alderman Sellers, and I second.
Alderman Milton has made a motion, and Alderman Sellers has a second to make amendment to the animal control ordinance 9.2, adopted 95905. All in favor, Ruben Weiss?
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Wadzik?
Aye.
Alderman Deborah Milton?
Aye.
Alderman Kendra Sellers?
Aye.
Alderman Cindy Durham?
Aye.
Motion is passed. Next on the agenda is item number 14 is discussion, local clothing store, Yellow Rose, and several vendors asking to set up outside booth one Sunday afternoon with food trucks at Big Brothers Barbecue. I guess that'd be over by Lowe's.
Nancy Thompson had contacted me, and she just asked if it could be brought up. They had basketball games tonight, but she said she has a bath oil essential scrubs and stuff, and that some other independent vendors. She mentioned someone with jewelry, and she said they would like to do it one Sunday from like 1 to 3 or 2 to 4. That they would set up out their booths outside of the dress shop Yellow Rose. Just one Sunday between now and Christmas.
Oh,
I certainly don't have a problem with it.
I mean, is it something have to say, yeah, we don't mind?
She just wanted it, kind of like y'all had the downtown car show and stuff this summer. You had mentioned it to the city. She just wanted to make sure before they started working on it. So.
They're not gonna block my street or anything.
No, it's just gonna be around that dress shop, and they would set up outside. So I told her I'd get it on the
Do you think we
agenda.
need to approve something?
She just didn't want someone to come.
The only thing I can think of is, the whole deal of Big Brother's
That's
food
what I
truck
think, that's what
and.
she-
Oh,
you know,
my
the
gosh.
Pressure that, I mean, that would be the only thing that I would think of.
Yeah.
And I'm with Bill, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if it gives, I don't need something that makes people happy.
I agree.
Anything to make people in the community feel like that they can do something. It's us sitting stare at four walls.
Is this something that needs to entertain a motion or just something?
I think at this time you could probably make a motion, but you know, I don't know what's going to be going on in December with this COVID-19. So at this time, I mean, if I had to approve it, I would, as long as they, you know, go follow the guidelines. I don't have a problem with it being outside like this. But I think just for documentation purpose, I think we need to make a motion.
This is Alderman Sellers, and I make a motion that we approve the local vendors to set up outside booths one Sunday afternoon.
In December.
This is Alderman.
Motion has been made and second to approve the local vendors to set up outside booths one Sunday afternoon with food trucks, Big Brothers Barbecue. All in favor, Alderman Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Wadzik, Alderman Deborah Middleton, Alderman Kendra Sellers,
Aye.
and Alderman Cindy Durham. Motion has been made and passed. I guess it needs to be documented then. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. I don't have any questions. Anybody have any questions for any of the departments, the municipal court, police department, public works?
I didn't get a police, did y'all? They come later. Huh? Did you email it to me directly? You may have my old email. Let me look.
No one have any questions for any of the team leads? If not, I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
I have a question for Dan.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dan, on the general ledger that you had sent us, I just want to make sure under fire department, it's on page 15.
They're under the number.
The number 44-429, we paid $530.
And it's to Tom.
And it's to Tomahawk. And I just wanted to make sure
Where that was.
charged, because it looks like it's under the fire department.
What page again, ma'am, was that?
15. And also,
Yes,
and also 45-400 under payroll, there's $5,249.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, one moment, please. Oh, yeah, Tomahawk Disposal. Contract services.
Yes, is it under fire department or parks?
There are only, that is a fund, that is a Fund 44 expenditure, ma'am. The fire department is Fund 43, and Fund 43 has insurance, a retirement pension, and capital outlay. 44,429 is sanitation, and that's for the roll-off dumpster that we rent from them for the city yard each month.
Okay. Which department is that being charged to?
That's being charged to administration, to Fund 10, but it is the expense packet for sanitation. Sanitation is trash collection. We pay them basically 2 checks a month. One is for the roll-off dumpster at the city yard, and the second one is for the street trash collections each month, 24,000 and change, 25,000 and change.
I think he's
Okay.
just saying he miscoded it.
But as far as fire department, the only expense that the fire department actually had was utilities. It was $150.39.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Are there any more questions for the consent agenda?
This is Alderman Sellers. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Motion been made by Alderman Sellers. Do I hear a second?
This is Shannon Watson. I make a motion, second.
All have been made and second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, Alderman Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Watzick, Alderman Deborah Middleton, Alderman Kendra Sellers,
Aye.
and Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
Number 16 is any item that warrants a discussion, but no action will be taken at this time. Or like that, is the new business, anything we need to make sure we put on the next agenda?
Mayor Evans, this is Ruben,
Yes.
Alderman. I got 3. On the zoning ordinance, swearing in, have we done that?
No, well, some of the members have.
Okay.
I don't know how many, who we like now, Dan. I mean, I know.
I believe that, well, I know that right off the top of my head, I can get you the real answer here. We have an oath from Luana Houston. We have one from Lee Lerma. Have one from Justin Cantwell. And Deborah, I'm sorry, the lady you put up, she came in, her name escapes me right now. She has taken the oath as well. That's all I've got so far. No one else has come forward. I haven't seen I haven't seen Mr. Davila. I haven't seen Mr. Dollahan. I assume Mr. Cantwell is out of it because he's leaving our city. So we basically have 3.
Okay, I'll get hold to the one I recommended and make sure he get up there. I don't know what's going on. I thought he had done it, but anyway, I'll get hold to Rick.
Okay. All right, my other one that I have was, I like the discussion that Alderman Sellers had last month on the City Hall, the Dairy Queen. I'd like to bring that up and see what we can do to, in consideration of that.
Like I said, no action will be taken at this time.
I know, I'd like to bring that up next month.
Yeah.
All right, and then my last one that I'd like to talk about, I think it was like a year ago or 2 that we talked about the city community building. I want to bring that up to see what can and what can we do. And if we can't, we can drop it.
What was the room? And I didn't hear.
The city community building at the Rodeo Ground.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I like that. I know we discussed that a while back and we dropped it, so I want to see if it's gonna be something that we can look forward to, or if not, then I can drop it.
I think it's worth discussing myself. We can put it on there because
Okay.
we're going through this pandemic right now. We probably
Yes,
need
sir.
another building.
Yes, sir.
I think we can put them on there.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, well, next, we're gonna go into the executive session, and I'm gonna ask, all the councilmen to leave, and I guess I'll host this meeting, and, I'll,
9:35.
9:35. Okay, let me let Dan in. Where did he go?
Where'd he go? He went to bed.
He's supposed to be in the waiting room.
Here I am.
There
There
you
he is.
All right.
go. We came out of executive session at 9:35. And the only action we have is we're gonna give the chief a pay raise. And the total is gonna be $840 a month. That's what, that's including the 500 we already had in a total per month. And he's gonna move over. And I guess we need to vote on it now and make it official. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, I
This is
need somebody to
Alderman
make a
Shannon
motion.
Waddick, and I make a motion that we approve the raise for the chief of police.
This is Alderman Wise. I second it.
Okay, motion has been made and second to increase the chief's salary $840 a month. All in favor, Ruben Weiss,
Aye.
Alderman Shannon Waddick,
Aye.
Alderman Deborah Milton,
Aye.
Alderman Kendra Sellers, and Alderman Cindy Durham.
Aye.
So motion passed by everybody. Motion is passed. They don't have nothing else on the agenda. I guess we can set the date for the next meeting. Set the time and date.
Next regular.
I want to say, are y'all still going to work on trying to get the internet up here?
What?
Are you still going to work on trying to get the internet installed at the community?
Oh yeah, that's what I need to give you an update on. I'm working with Brian now, and I asked him. It's been 2 weeks ago, and he hadn't followed. Well, I take that back. He did about a week ago. He followed up on me. He said he was still waiting on his internet. Well, they what you call them, the tech persons for the computers, but he didn't have a problem with it. I told him we was gonna pay for it, but he said they want to go through that channel with his internet tech. So I'll follow up and see. I don't know what the holdup is. It shouldn't take. I would have thought it was going to be a pretty smooth thing. Like a couple. I think we got a couple of companies here, or 3 maybe. So I wouldn't have thought it would have been that bad. I thought they used to have a landline in there. A long time ago they did, but I don't know what happened to it. I guess they took everything down. That would probably be a quick fix if we could find out who that company is. They probably already got lines laid there, so I don't know. But I can follow up, Deborah. That's all I know. But that is, yes.
Okay, Charles, we, I don't know if I told y'all, but I don't get any money from it, period. I get nothing. But, that company that, put, using my dad's tower out there.
Tower,
And
yeah.
it's called, UBER Internet. And they're coming right off that tower. I personally have their internet and I've been very pleased. And we have it in our barn with closed circuit cameras and all of that. And we've been pleased with them. And, you know, that's a company you can check, because all they would do is come and put a little bitty gizmo thing on top of this building pointing toward that. And he could have stuff in here pretty quick.
Okay, why don't you text me their number? And
I will send you his number. I
Okay.
sure will. I mean, it don't hurt to talk to all of them.
I don't know if it can go. I don't think it, well, we can, but I don't see how to be any cheaper, quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Our
what it's
next
going
meeting, 14th, regular.
Okay, that's all I know about the internet. We'll try that, Cindy.
Do we want to do?
December 14th, it's the second Monday.
Or two.
Okay,
Is that right? The
Yes.
second Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay. December 14th.
Are we sure we're gonna have it on December 14th? We want to go switch it for somebody's vacation? How does that work, though?
I have to get permission from Manetta, and then she calls the judge.
No. I'm talking about changing it from last week to today.
Why did we do that?
Deborah's request.
Why did we change
I
it?
thought it was
Yes,
my
sir.
fault.
No, it's because I reviewed it. I wasn't gonna have another Zoom meeting.
She
Okay,
requested.
okay. I thought it got blocked. I thought it was because
It was the Wi-Fi. We talked about seeing if we could get it in. We thought we were gonna get it in pretty quick, but
Well, and then, I mean, the thing is that I got a job and I've been working late and I have to lose money today to be at this meeting.
yeah.
And I told them about second Monday of the month. I need off, okay. Well, when they changed me from last week to today, I lost money today. Cause I had to show up here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
And this can't happen again, Charles.
that could have been handled better than that. Because we can't change it real quick. So
Well, I mean, I don't understand. And then we're supposed to have an open meeting, not a Zoom meeting,
no,
where everybody gotta be here.
no, that's not the rules. The rules is anymore. If you had a website at the first of the year, and Seagraves does, Seminole doesn't, you have to post Zoom. You have to post Zoom so you can get to give the people the option with this virus to come in person or on Zoom.
Well, then you need to get a hold of Mayor and Seminole because they're having in-person city hall meeting.
Do what, Ruben? You cut out.
So you need to get a hold of Mayor Seminole.
They
because
Zoom. Yes, they do.
No, they have an in-person meeting.
No, they Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir. I'll
that's
send you a picture tomorrow. On the
Ruben, hold on. I said if they had a website at the first of the year.
Charles.
If they had a website the first of the year, they have to do Zoom. That's the rule. I didn't make them.
Well, I'm tired of this meeting, you know. I think it's time to start getting together and start having our meeting in person.
Yeah, you can do that. But I'm saying, but I bet it's on Zoom too.
Well, then you better look at the Seminole paper, the Mayor of Seminole and everybody has an in-person meeting.
Yes, so
Open
does
meeting.
emergencies.
The school board.
And Charles is the reason, I mean, we cannot hear.
I meet with the mayor now when they open on their city council meeting.
Earphones aren't doing anybody any good but you.
What is that?
That's the noise that we've been having to listen to this whole meeting.
What?
This is Alderman Sellers. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion has been made and seconded. Do I have to get a second?
Yes.
I couldn't hear no one. Sorry.
That's the problem right there. We can't hear nobody.
No, that's not the problem. Did I hear a second?
Yes, Alderman Wodzick, seconded.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Good night.